Hey, what's going on, guys? This isn't going to be a very long video by any stretch of the means, just because there's not a lot of information, but Kindred Fates is officially on Steam. Now, the specific game in question is Kindred Fates Combat Alpha Arena, but as it's been stated in the Discord, this name can be changed at any point in time, so come time for the beta, they'll just change it to Kindred Fates Beta, and then come time for final release, they'll just change it to Kindred Fates. Anyways, there are some brand new screenshots, which are kind of going off right now, that we'll take a closer look into when we get more into the video, but I wanted to read over the description and just sort of talk about this whole thing as a whole. I think this is really exciting. The alpha's coming out on the 30th, and we haven't really seen much of it until now. So these screenshots are definitely something that's going to be quite appreciated. And it's just great to see this game on Steam. I'm hoping that means soon I'll be able to actually tag the game on YouTube instead of having to tag Sword and Shield. So that's something that's exciting for me. You guys probably don't care about that. Anyways, let's just start off with the about this game. And as you can see, it's a very short paragraph. Come join us in the first publicly playable version of Kindred Fates. In our Combat Arena Alpha, you can customize your team of 4 kinfolk and face off against another player in random or private matches. Enjoy our real-time monster battling and arena fighter. Help us find bugs and let us know what you want to see. And as you can see, Umberto and Chopper want this game as well. I've added it to my wish list. Yeah, that's pretty much all the info they have on the Steam page right now, which makes sense. I mean, they're not really advertising the game. They're just, at this point, they're really more so using Steam as a platform in which to distribute it. So I wasn't expecting it to have this huge thing. If they do add to it, I'll definitely do a video covering that. Now, let's get into the more important stuff. So let's see some of these screenshots. There we go. Okay, so first screenshot. Double click the name below to change your team name. So this is the name of the team, No Mercy. Okay, as you can see, they've selected, each can have 5 attacks, right? So you got your Kadoki with your 5. Now, this doesn't tell us how many total options there's going to be. If there's 5 attacks, I'm assuming there at least will be 7 or so options you could choose from. I could be wrong about that. That's completely speculation on my part. Interestingly, the held items, if you look closely, Kadoki has some sort of berry. I'm not even sure what that is that Slifer is holding. Mechid has some sort of stone, and Ember has some sort of flower. It'll be really interesting to see what exactly these items do. As far as a guess goes, I could see the berry perhaps healing it. The flower could perhaps have some additional effect. The stone could maybe increase defense. If that's a stone, it's kind of hard to see. In terms of other information we have here, it does seem like the color-coded attacks represent their typings. So obviously with Slifer, the white ones, you also see the white one on Kadoki and Mechid. Those are all null type attacks. That's just the sort of sensible thing to assume based on that. So the greens would be Gaia. The red would obviously be fire, and I want to say that the blue's probably wind, or air, sorry, because as you can see with Kadoki's last attack, it's a tornado, which, if you remember, that tornado appears in the extended trail, well, in both trailers, the Kindred Fates extended trailer and the regular trailer, but it's green. So I wonder if they're gonna change that up, or if it's just gonna remain the same. But then Slifer's air type attack is like a spring. So I'm assuming it has to do with like the fact that Slifer is like very stealthy and whatnot. He's probably gonna be able to like jump really high to get behind the opponent. Other than that, I'm kind of curious. So will Kadoki be a Gaia type with an air lean, and Slifer is a null type with an air lean, or are they just capable of learning some air moves? Because the whole thing about leans is they're not actually dual types. So what constitutes a kinfolk having a lean versus a kinfolk not having a lean? That's something we're gonna have to get a definitive answer on in the future. We don't exactly have that information now. And then in the top right corner, so this is Rob's account, it says 4-player score, and then beside it, it has this little profile image. So I'm assuming there'll be a few NPC sort of images you could choose from, just for the sake of making it so not every single person has the same little icon at the top. And then, of course, you can see Kadoki, Slifer, Mechid, and Ember just sort of chilling on the on what looks to be like the standard menu screen before you go into battle. here we get a better look at the actual battle, and this is what I found interesting, because a question I wanted to raise was, will we get the names of certain kinfolk? Apparently not. It's still Shovel Button, it's still Gentle Gaze, which I find quite interesting. I'm wondering if there's a reason that they're keeping the names so secretive, or if it's just they just haven't figured out a name they've decided for it just yet. On that note, I wasn't entirely sure if Gentle Gaze had been confirmed to be the deer, but it was pretty obvious on the progress board, but this is like 100% confirmation without a doubt. Gentle Gaze is the stag. As you can see by the sort of battle UI here, you have the 5 attacks on the bottom. One of them's currently on cooldown. And there is one thing I want to touch on with regards to controller support. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this is pretty standard stuff. You have your health, you have your stamina bar. And it looks like stamina is going to be something that everybody has, and not just something that maybe specific playstyles have, because we've already seen it on Ember that Andrew accidentally leaked, and now we're seeing it on Skullkin. So I originally speculated that there's a chance that they could do it like, this playstyle has mana, this playstyle has like stamina, this playstyle has something else, sort of like what they do in League. But no, that's not the case. It looks like everybody has mana, which makes sense. And then, of course, at the top, you have a timer. And the 2 dots on each, it's probably best 2 out of 3. So whoever gets a 2 wins, obviously. Here you can see the Light Stag running in the Ruins battle stage, not gaze. Gentle Gaze got me there. You can see the stags running around. Again, these abilities are really interesting. So if we go back to Skullkin, it's hard to see this ability, the first one, because of the cooldown, but it looks like it's some sort of like projectile. The skull one, it looks like it's some sort of effect. The R one seems to be perhaps it's slow, that we've seen in the extended trailer, as well as the regular Kickstarter trailer. And I'm not too sure about its last attack, but that seems like it's going to be like its major powerful attack, like some sort of like heavy hitting move. It could act like the ults from League of Legends, so it's something we're gonna have to look into as well. Same thing with the stag. Its last attack seems to be some sort of very powerful like beam attack that almost is reminiscent of the fire beam that K-Knight uses, but a light version of that. And again, 2 of its attacks, one of them is a direct copy from the Skullkin one, so I'm assuming it's some sort of null type attack, perhaps just like a basic hit or something like that. The E here seems to be some sort of like dash, and the Q seems to be that sort of standard projectile. With the R is looking like it's that looks like it's supposed to be like a brain or something, and it's going up, so it looks like some sort of buff. Perhaps to its magical abilities or something to that extent, because that would kind of make sense. A lot of games consider the magic stat to be intelligence, and that kind of makes sense from that perspective. Okay, fire again. So the fire ones are red, and what's probably a normal type or null type rather attack is white. So these fire rings that are displayed along the battlefield here, we see a smaller version of them in the Kindred Fates combat teaser video featuring K-Knight that I use in almost every one of my Kindred Fates videos, because we don't have that much gameplay to work with when we make videos about this game. But that's another thing that we do see. These rings seem to be a lot bigger, but basically the idea is to sort of trap your target in a specific spot, sort of limiting their movement, and then you can go in with this other attacks. Its first attack seems again to be some type of just standard projectile. It's the exact same as a light one, and I believe the dark one. No, the dark one's different. Okay, so it's the exact same as the light one, but fire. So my assumption is it's just basic fireball. The other one's a basic like light ball. The Q seems to be some sort of... I'm not 100% sure what the Q is, because the E seems to be what we see displayed here. The ultimate could be that attack. See, okay, the I keep calling it the ultimate. Sorry, League of Legends. The R could be what we've seen in the trailer, where Ember sort of lifts his arms and he causes that big explosion. The last attack seems to be some sort of melee attack that could maybe cause some type of confusion just based on the stars that are circling around the fist. And that Q attack looks like it could be some sort of AoE attack. We did see K-Knight use something similar in one of the videos as well. So that's something to keep in mind. It could be that sort of short burst AoE that we've seen in the combat teaser as well. And the last screenshot is simply something we've actually seen before. It's simply just the basic title screen. They have everything very basic. They're not really concerned with having this like super like fleshed out and very artistic like character selection screen. This is something that's only going to be present in the alpha, so it makes sense that it's just got a sort of flat background with the ring and the kinfolk. They don't need anything fancy. So yeah, that's all the screenshots, and this video is actually turning out to be quite longer than I thought. We're doing a lot more speculation off of 5 screenshots than I thought we would have been, but that's good. Okay, so for controller support, it says partial controller support, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'll definitely have to inquire on that. If anyone knows in the comments, they could definitely let me know as well. And then for system requirements, I have seen some people talking about this on Reddit. Yeah, you're gonna need about 8 gigs of RAM. The GTX 970 for the graphics card, that's a very like, I have a 1050 and it's not even new. So most graphics cards that are at least somewhat dedicated to gaming should be fine. And there has been people asking, if I got the game on Switch, do I get access to this? You will get access to the early access on Steam. They've stated this multiple times through Discord and on their Kickstarter. If you ordered the game for Switch, you still get early access on Steam. Nintendo doesn't really do early access, so you get early access on Steam, and then when the game's fully out, you get the actual game on Switch. And by early access, I mean alpha and beta. They're not going to have an official early access phase. I'm just referring to alpha and beta when I say that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Besides the screenshots, we don't have a crazy amount of information, unfortunately. But I'm glad they finally got the Steam page up, because this is going to make it a lot easier for me to perhaps be able to label the videos correctly. And it'll give a place for people to wishlist the game and sort of keep up to date on all the updates and patch notes, because don't forget, this is something that they're going to have to like update us with probably frequently. I'm assuming the alpha will have a lot of bugs and maybe server issues. That's to be expected with any alpha. I mean, if you look at even when Temtem came on early access, it had a lot of issues. So I'm expecting a lot of that, and this will be a great place to look at all the updates. And I'm assuming they'll have like a build notes or a change log channel in their Discord where they just post their updates as well. So definitely a great time to be a Monstertainment fan. Totally looking forward to this. 1 p.m. EST on November 30th, we will be streaming this, and we'll likely do multiple streams. And I'm going to be playing this with the intention of dissecting each character's moves and then doing sort of like character bios on each one. So look forward to that. Anyways, with all that being said, if you did enjoy the video, definitely make sure to like and subscribe. We'll keep you updated on all things Kindred Fates and the broader Monstertainment spectrum of games. You can follow me on Twitter. You can check out my Patreon and Discord. I have all links in the description, as well as this Steam page too. So yeah, until next time, peace.